Hello YouTube, this is Dutch Bushcraft Knives, and today I want to talk about stropping. This video I want to tell you what stropping is and when to use it and how to use it. This is a strop. This is like a wooden pedal with two sides of leather on it, and this is what we would call a field strop, very light. Just a regular block of multiplex wood or triplex with thin strips of leather on it. So first of all, when you're looking to buy a strop, there are certain things you should watch out for, and that is the thickness and the hardness of the leather. The leather shouldn't be too soft and it shouldn't be too thick, because this will determine how convex it will make the apex of your blade, of your edge. So this is kind of a thick leather, but this is very hard. So this is a good strop. This strop is the leather is a bit softer, but it's very thin. So this is also a good strop. And what you would apply to those strops are compounds, and these are very important because these determine the result of the edge. So this is Bark River white compound and this is Bark River black compound, and it's very important to know which grids these compounds are. I wrote them on here. So the white compound is about 12,000 grit, while the black is around 3,000 grit. And it's very important to know that because you don't want to strop on a 3,000 grit after your 12,000 stone, but you can still strop on this with this white compound after you're finished with your 12,000 stone. So first of all, I will show you how to apply the compound to your strop. So make sure you have you write down what compound you're using on each side, because they're both getting black eventually. So this is my white side. I've got my white compound, and I'm just gonna create a layer on here. Not too much. And the black side. Like that. You don't need that much, and you also don't need to reapply compound every time. Maybe every 5-6 times you apply new compound, and maybe every 50 times you have to clean the strop a little bit. And what I do is take the back of a knife, of a sharp knife, and scrape off the compound as much as possible. So yeah, that's about the compound. And about the compound, you can use many different compounds. You can use metal polish, but it's very messy and it smells. And I really like these harder compounds, like this Bark River compound, or you have those compounds for buffing wheels. Some of them are hold together with fat or something. You don't want that. You want these dry bars for your stropping. So yeah, where do you use a strop for? In my experience, a strop is a method for finishing the bevel. So you can really give a nice mirror polish with stropping compound on your knife. It gets rid of the burr created by sharpening, and also it makes your edge a little bit more tough. I think it increases the edge retention a little bit, because the strop will make the apex a little bit more convex, which gives it a little bit more durability. So yeah, I'm really into stropping, and there are some other things you would use a strop for. That is maintenance of the edge. So after a few uses. You can get your strop and strop your knife, and it's good to go again, hair popping sharp. Also, some knives, like this Anson Trapper in 01 steel, get micro oxidation on the bevel. That is rust formed by the humidity of the air. So it's not visible as rust, but the apex of the bevel is just so tiny, just a few microns, or maybe 1 micron or something, and those particles are exposed to oxygen and moist the most, so those will rust fastest. And you won't be able to see it, but the edge will become duller over time, even when it is inside the sheath in a drawer or something. It will get a little bit more dull over time if it's not oiled in or something. So yeah, how you would use a strop. I use my strop for my kitchen knives often, because every time I've hit the cutting board and when I'm done with the knife, I always use a few strokes on the strop to patch up the edge again. So the black compound is 3000 grit, so when you have a little bit of damage on your apex, you can see reflections on the edge, and you know that it's time to use black compound. When you don't have any problems, just like to patch up, use the white compound, 12K. So at this moment I don't have any reflections and it's still very sharp, but I want to keep it very sharp. So what I do in this case is keep the knife in a low angle, about the angle you sharpen it in, and drag it over the leather from the tip to the end of the bevel. Around 5 times on this side and about 5 times on that side. As you see, I raise the strop a little bit with my hand, so that it's easier for me to strop this knife. I'm accidentally doing this on the black side now, but it's not a problem. So again, 5 times this side. And you don't want to push too hard on the leather, because when you're pushing too hard, you will, if this is the convex, if you push too hard, the convex will become like this, and you're actually dulling the knife. So you don't want to do that. And now I'm just switching sides with every stroke, and the edge is good to go. I've now patched up this knife after a use in the kitchen. Another important thing when you're stropping is you can hear from the sound the strop creates that you're holding the knife in exactly the same angle every time you strike you stroke your knife over the strop. So for example, that's the same sound with every stroke, but if I increase the angle, the sound has a higher pitch to it. And if I lay it flat on the strop, it almost doesn't have any sound. So you can actually hear, like this, if it is touching the apex and if it is actually stropping the bevel. So you should also listen to the sound of your strop. This is strop you would often use with a bushcraft or survival knife like this. It actually works the same. It doesn't have the handle, so it's a little bit less comfortable to use, but you can use it. You can hold it like this in your hand, and yeah, this knife is also still sharp. But So I'll only be using the white compound to get rid of the micro oxidation. And again, from the tip of the blade to the end of the bevel. And I'm sorry for that. Alright, sorry for that. What you can do with stropping is you don't have to be exactly the same angle as your bevel is. You can raise it a little bit to increase toughness if you like. But after maybe 10 or 20 stropping times, your edge will actually become a little bit duller with every strop. Because, like I said, this convex will eventually get like this, and you cannot sharpen this anymore. So it has a limit on how many times you can strop, and that's what we call over stropping the knife. And again, don't push too hard. This is a very thin leather, so it's you can use a little bit more force on this one than on the thicker. With the kitchen knife. Extremely sharp. So yeah, that is how you would use a strop. So we can use this as a field sharpening kit. We can use this as a maintenance kit for our knives. We can use it to get rid of micro oxidation, and we can use it to get rid of burr. So overall, I can highly recommend to have a strop. And what I absolutely don't recommend is having a sharpening rod in your kitchen. Please use leather, even for your kitchen knives. You can of course, you shouldn't store it in your kitchen. It's maybe not that hygienic to store this in your kitchen, especially when it gets wet and stuff. So store this somewhere else, but you can use it on your kitchen knives. But yeah, I use these strops after every sharpening. I always strop with 12,000 compound. No matter if I have sharpened my knives on 12,000 grit, I still strop it on the white compound. After 5,000 grit, I'll strop on the white compound, and after 3,000 grit, that's the max for my black compound. Bar bevel compound. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.